Greek Muslim here. Assalamu alaikum. So today's episode is I wanted to go over a few points, a few things that seem to be in the media all the time, and they're misconceptions. And because they are constantly being said, people have come to think of them as true. Not just because you keep saying something, it doesn't make it true. The first point that I wanted to make was that many people think of Islam as a terrorist, a violent religion. If you actually picked up the Quran and read cover to cover, challenge for you, you would see that there is no such thing. Only if you excerpt something and cut it off from the first part or the last part, then of course you can make anything seem violent and terroristic. But Islam is nothing like that. In fact, in Islam, if you kill one innocent person, it's like you killed a whole nation. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not a scholar. But Islam is not a violent religion. If you actually looked with your eyes, not listened with your ears, and looked around and seen who is committing all these violent crimes, you would see that it's the Western countries, the global North. The global North is constantly going and spearheaded by the U.S., constantly going all over the world, committing violent acts, coups all over the place in the name of freedom and democracy. But if you actually looked at countries that they largely leave alone, you will see that they really don't have resources that they really care about, or they've already achieved their goals there. Like, for example, they left the Philippines alone, but they do have like 5 military bases over there, for liberty and democracy and freedom, right? Just in case. Why does the United States need to have more than 750 military bases around the world? Why? Just in case they come and get them, so they have all these things already in place? Think about it. Anyway, these countries go all over the place, destabilize countries, commit coups, and then these people defend themselves. That's what it is. It's defense. Look who is the offender here and who is the defender. As I said in a previous episode, another misconception is that people think that Islam is a misogynistic religion. It demeans women and takes away women's rights. That is actually not true. If you really looked at the complete underlying problem of where all this violence comes from around the world, you will see that it basically starts with men. Men are creating all this violence. Now, I'm not saying all men are bad. I'm just saying that this is where the violence comes from. It's not the religions per se, because I believe that all religions started from a good place, a peaceful place, a monotheistic place also. However, over time, because of corrupt people and power-hungry or money-hungry people, religions have become corrupt. Not Islam, though, so don't go there. And so, if you actually read the Quran, you would see that Islam gave women, Allah gave women all the human rights that we have today, and then some, from 1400 plus years ago. Sorry, we didn't need the suffragists and the 60s to come and help us. Allah gave us those rights, whether it was equality, whether it was voting, whether it was to own our own businesses, to keep our own money in our name. We had all of that. Number three is that women are wearing hijab, like me, a headscarf, and many people often assume that it's their husband or their dad or a male figure in their family that is forcing them to wear hijab. Au contraire, actually, Allah, God, wants us to wear a scarf. In fact, it's in the Bible. And if you don't cover your hair according to the Bible, your head has to be shaven, completely shorn. If you don't believe me, look it up. Anyway, there may be cases where women are forced to cover up. Humans are not perfect. However, in Islam, there is no compulsion. You are a free person, whether you're a man or a woman, and also you are only better in the eyes of God as long as you have a good relationship with Him. It has nothing to do with ethnicity or gender. As long as you have a good relationship with God, that's the only thing that matters. This should have been my number one. It's one of my favorites. A lot of people have this misconception that we say the word Allah and we meet somebody completely different than the Christian God or the Judaic God. It's the same one. Only one creator, only one designer made all of this, all of it. We don't believe in a different God. In fact, if you actually open up an Arabic Christian Bible of any variety, you will find that the name of God in Arabic is Allah. And the name of Allah is basically, it means a singular God, one singular God. And Muslims are 100% monotheistic. We don't go and pray to the Kaaba. We don't pray to stones. We don't pray to statues. We don't pray to buildings. We don't pray to icons. We are praying in the direction of the Kaaba towards Allah in unison. That's all that is, to be in uniformity. That's all that is. So next time you hear somebody saying the word Allah, it means the same thing in English almost as it does in Arabic, because the word for God in the English language can be pluralized, but in Arabic the word Allah is singular. So that's the most important thing to remember, and that's the worst crime that you can commit, to give partners to God. The first commandment for Christians and Jews is to not give partners to God, and the second one is not to have statues and icons and likenesses of anything. You're not supposed to pray to saints. You're not supposed to pray to Jesus or Mary, just to God. There's no intercession to God. There's a direct link. Just sit down and ask God to help you and lead you on the right path. Anyway, for those of you that are fasting, Ramadan Kareem, Assalamu Alaikum.